Alright guys, welcome back to the channel for another ball review. As you've known from my past 3 reviews, we did the Exponent, the Zen Gold label, and the Roto Grip clone. That was good, stumbling right. The Roto Grip clone, because if I gotta take my time, because we're doing so many ball reviews, I'm in such a rush to get them done. So I need to slow down and talk to you peeps nice and articulate what I'm saying. That way you can understand that I'm not nervous, but I really am. We're gonna look at the new release by Roto Grip, the Tour Dynam-X, and this ball where it fits in, not really sure, but what I'm hearing is it should be in between a Phase II and an IQ Tour Solid. I do have a Phase II today, which we're gonna compare it to for this Tour Dynam-X. I do not have an IQ Tour Solid. Unfortunately, I had to lay mine the rest with all the games and being out on tour this summer. So unfortunately, I don't have one, but we're gonna add one back to the arsenal pretty soon. I'm also gonna feature an oldie but a goodie, the Rubicon. Found that one ball last year and I ended up drilling it, and it was really handy this year on the PBA 50 Tour this summer. What does this ball feature? Well, the numbers on this ball is going to be a 2.47 RG, a differential of 0.026, and a small mass bias of 0.010. So this is a weaker core, and the cover on this ball is a Tour Dynam-X cover, right? Tour track. The cover on this is a Tour track. I like, my brain froze for a second. Rondur core. Rondur Tour. Oh, my brain fried again. This is a Rondur Tour core, which is featured in the Tour Dynam-X. It is a variation of the Rondur core that it's in the Rubicon, which when they decided to put that in this ball, I was really excited because I really like the Rubicon. And how did I drill this ball? Well, this one's drilled 4 1/4 by 4 1/2 by 2 VLS layout. Now when I'm comparing it to the Phase II and the Rubicon that I have, both of those drill my favorite layout, 5 by 4 1/2 by 2 3/4 VLS layout. So this ball, I drilled this one a little stronger because it is a weaker core. It could be a weaker asymmetrical compared to if I was balling down from the Rubicon or balling down from the Phase II. They give me a little bit of a different shape than those two. But I'm gonna go out on this fresh house shot here at Pinchasers Veterans. And as you can see, we're gonna ball on 39 this time, where my last 3 videos were on 40. I have a better shot on 39 than 40 today for some reason. Just crazy how different, a couple weeks makes when you come out here and shoot these videos, even though you're balling the same pair. Basically what I've seen from this ball so far, it's not a ball that with my rev rate category, I'm gonna get left and throw it right. It is a lot slower and a lot smoother down the lane. So it's a ball I'm gonna pretty much stay on top of the dry with. And when it gets too early, then I'm gonna probably switch out of it. I'm gonna throw some shots, see what it does, and compare it to the other 2 balls. All right, let's go. So same thing, we're gonna start not as far right. We're gonna go in between first and second arrow this time. Man, bad shot, because I've been standing around. Yeah, that one was bad. See what happens when you're trying to do your intro and stuff, and then you stand around and you're old? You don't throw it good. Let's try that again. That was just absolutely ugly. All right, try it again. And that's a bad one again. All right, a little TV timeout. I had to switch my thumbs. Not bowling for a couple days. I was using the smaller thumb. Now I had to switch to a bigger one. Now that my thumb is swelling up as I'm throwing shots. Let's try this again. Same thing. Just stand in between first, second arrow. Making sound effects? No. Yes. Distractions, man. Distractions when you're making videos from the help. So that was more like second arrow. I need to move more right. Let's try this again. Video is not going very well today for what I would like. Move a little bit farther right so I can throw it in between first and second arrow. There we go. That was a lot better. You can see more in the track area. That was 9 at the arrows. Ball picked up and it read nice and smooth and arcing. That's kind of similar to what the Rubicon does. It's going to be a little bit earlier and be a little quicker down lane than that ball. The surface on this ball is out of box. As I throw more shots and we compare them, I am going to scratch it up because I want to see what the right surface on the ball for me and my game works. So we're going to try that again. Move a little more left this time. This time I'm going to try to hit 10, throw a little more right because I've been throwing shots for a while warming up. So the ball is going to pick up a little bit more as I throw it. There we go. See, 10, that was like 10 to 8. And as it got down the lane, it kind of got confused a little bit. It was early, but didn't pick up, off the drive the right way. All right, I'm gonna throw the other 2 balls right in that same spot, and then we'll move back to the Tour Dynam-X. That was nice. Throw the Phase II next. As you can see with that surface with out of the box, this is the main reason why you need to have Avalon pads and change the surface. Right out of the box, believe it's 2000, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It is a little too clean in the front, and it is a little confused for me now that it's shining up a little bit. So I'm Like I said, we're going to throw the Phase II for a couple shots in that same spot. I'm going to throw the Rubicon, and then we're going to scratch that ball up and see if it changes my react. All right, same spot, and play more in between first and second arrow, 8, 9 at the arrow. There we go, that's 9. Ball's starting to pick up a little. The length is similar to the Tour Dynam-X, but it is a little quicker off the back. That could be because the strength of the cover of the ball compared to the one that's on the Tour Dynam-X. When it comes to the strengths of these covers, sometimes they really don't tell us where they fit strength-wise. We have to just go out here, roll them, and see where they fit in our arsenal. I'm gonna throw the Phase II one more time. Move a little more left though, so you can see the difference between how strong this is compared to that ball. And more like 10, 11 at the arrows. Hopefully it's not getting clipped already. There we go, that's 11. And it is, it's already starting to break down lane. That was slowing down the back. All right, I'm gonna throw the Rubicon. How different that ball is compared to the Tour Dynam-X. All right, we're gonna throw in the same spot, both shots. We're gonna more like 8, 9 at the arrows first, then I'll move a little bit left. That was 9. Hey, that ball, you can see, even though symmetrical is stronger than the Tour Dynam-X, it is just as clean as both of those balls, and it's a little quicker off the dry compared to the other two. So those balls might be just a little bit stronger than Rubicon right now. All right, I'm gonna move left. This cover on the Rubicon is older and is probably a little weaker than the other two. There we go. Ah, oh well, not as good a shot as I liked. All right, so I took a little time. I scratched up all 3 of these balls with a 2000 Avalon by hand, and we're gonna see if that changes my reaction on all 3 of these balls today. All right, I'm still gonna stay to the right, play in the same part of the lane. That way we can see if the 2000 on by hand really changed the reaction a lot, or if I'm just in the wrong zone with these bowling balls today. That wasn't a very good one. You see it's more rolly now. The ball's not really quick in the back where it was shining up a little bit from the out of box. It was getting a little bit quicker off the back of the lane. It wasn't a very good shot. Let me throw one more. Did move the track though. Lanes seem to be changing as well, so I'm gonna move a little bit left. See if I can catch a little bit of oil and make it, not make the ball, but make the ball see the dry a little bit better. The way it makes a better reaction off the dry as it gets through the oil. Because right now it's just not looking very good. There we go, that was better. So I think I looped it out a little bit more into the dry, and you can see it was a little bit earlier. You see it try to rev up a little bit, but then when it read off the dry, it was nice and smooth. So I'm gonna throw the Phase II and the Rubicon and see if I get that same reaction or if one's stronger than the other. The Tour Dynam-X doesn't flare a lot, so it is gonna be a ball that I'm gonna stay on top of the dry a lot more and keep my angles really shallow rather than open up the lane where I could use other balls to do that when I move left. All right, Phase II, 2000 by hand. See how this rolls. Try to throw the same way as I did that Tour Dynam-X. Come on, old man, let's do some repeating. There you go. And that was you see with the 5-inch it is a little longer and it doesn't read the dry as archy. It's a little more angular or a little continuous, whichever terms you want to use. Everybody mixes and matches these terms based on what they see and their preference. So that to me, the Tour Dynam-X was more rounding, more archy, where that Phase II is more angular or continuous. I'm gonna throw it one more time. Usually on a Phase II, I don't put 2000 on it. Usually with this cover and core combination, I usually use 1000. That way it cuts through the oil and it shapes the right way that I like to see. But we're gonna do that in just a few minutes after I get through throwing the Rubicon. All right, one more shot here. No, that's not a good one. Threw it out to the right though. As you can see, the lanes are changing. Now I can throw it more left to right. And I get the ball to actually get through the oil and kind of read the dry the right way in a better shape. But it's still, the shape of that ball, that Phase II, wants to be more angular or continuous compared to the Tour Dynam-X. Now I'm going to switch over to the Rubicon. And as you can see, when I started the video, when I was practicing just to set up the lane, I did play a little more to the right. So I did take some oil off the lane. And as you can see, now that the lane's transitioned, I can move left and throw it right, and the ball is reading the right way. Rubicon should be stronger because it's asymmetrical compared to the symmetrical Phase II. And then the load, the actual Tour Dynam-X is a lot weaker, even though it's asymmetrical. Let's see how this one rolls with the 2000 by hand. Not making very good shots today, but the balls look good. There you go. And that one, you can really see the difference now that I hit it with 2000 and got some of the lane shine off. That ball was a lot earlier and really was digging into the oil. and getting through the dry a lot harder. It was a lot harder, a lot quicker. All right, throw it one more time. I'm so glad I found this ball in Texas last year. Been one of my favorites this year on the tour. All right, one more time. Move more left because then we can really see how much stronger this Rubicon is. There you go, threw it way out there. Ah, bad shot. All right, that's all right. But see, I was left to right too much, threw it in the dry too quick, and it was really too round. Scratch all three of these up with 1,000 Avalon by hand. Let's see if this makes all three of the balls earlier, a little bit slower, or if it actually makes this Tour Dynam-X, which is the weaker one, actually hook more down lane off the dry because it wants to dig through the oil a lot better than when it was that original out of box finish. All right, hold on, let's see if I throw a good one here. My arm's a little tired from scratching these suckers up. That's what I like to see. So when it comes to out-of-box finishes, remember, even when like I discussed in my other videos, with the pearls that have all the polish on it, the solids are the same thing. These balls are all designed to make a certain shape, but the bowler is so individual that sometimes you have to change the surfaces to get them, kind of tune them up, to get them to make the shape that you want or that are comfortable for your eyes to see. That way you can be comfortable with how the ball is going to roll every time you roll it. Because if you're not confident in the ball, not going to use it, it's going to stay in the bag and you're going to feel like you wasted your time with the ball and wasted money. I went through that though again. That was awesome. Ball does not flare a lot at all either. I move a little left though. That was really a little lot earlier. We'll move more like around second arrow, kind of where the little cliff is here. That one stuck on my thumb. Thumb stickage. Yay! It's getting warm in here. All right, let's try that one more time. That was a turd. See what happens when the tour's over and you take a couple days off? You're not as sharp throwing these balls when you're making the videos. I've discussed it in my previous videos. This ball's brand new. I just drilled it, put a layout on it, trying to figure out the surface. I'm really not comfortable throwing it and the shape that it's making compared to the other two balls or some of the other balls that I have in my arsenal. I dislike about coming out with all the balls is that it takes me a little while to figure out where this fits in my arsenal for the way I throw the ball and for my game and what patterns I'm going to use it on if I go out and bowl the PBA 50 Tour. All right, let me throw it one more time. Throw a better shot. So that was down. The last one was Dookie. There we go. That was a lot better. That was a lot smoother, a lot more archy. Similar to what the Rubicon is in a sense, but the Rubicon was a little stronger, a little quicker down lane. So I'm gonna switch over to the Phase 2 and see what that 1,000 does on that one compared to this Tour Dynam-X. And also remember, if you get the Tour Dynam-X and the cover doesn't fit, you can also, the solids, you can also polish them up as well to give them a little more length for you if you're more of a high rev player. All right, Phase 2, same spot. Now my thumb is shrinking again. And bad shot. Not having a good day. Trying a little too hard, man, for you guys. All right, Phase 2. And timeout. All right, had to take a TV timeout. I was rushing through this, really making bad shots, kind of really too hard to make the ball shape the way I wanted. I had to take a break, sit down for a second. So we're gonna go back to the Phase 2. I'm gonna throw a couple times and see at 1,000 grit if it changes the shape of the ball by throwing it the right way instead of those crappy turds that I was throwing. All right, here we go. All right, nice, relax, the ball get off my hand. Sometimes you have bad days, sometimes you have good days. There we go. See? You don't rush through it. Try to make the best shots because you just nice and relaxed, roll it. Looks really good. All right, I'm gonna switch over to the Rubicon at 1,000 and see if that makes it even earlier and stronger, maybe a little rounder in the back, or if it makes it earlier and quicker like it was before. All right, so you see the way the lanes are changing. If I get left and throw it too hard, too much oil, so they're getting a little cliff. So I do have to throw it a little bit to the right to get the ball shaped the right way down lane. There we go. Just like that. You can see a big difference how strong that ball is compared to the other two. And that's even with a 5-inch pin on there, and I have a 4 1/4 and a higher pin placement on the Tour Dynam-X. So we're gonna throw that one more time. Actually, I'm gonna switch back over to Tour Dynam-X to try to throw it that same way as I just threw the Rubicon and see how different those two are. That was nice. That was a lot better. As we talked about in my past videos with scratching up the ball surfaces, you can see with the Rubicon, I'm gonna keep that with the way that cover and cord combination is. I'm gonna keep it at 1,000 by hand all the time. The way that ball shaped, my eyes were they got big. I really like that. That way I could throw it firmer if I need to, or if I could slow down, depending on the way the lane conditions are. Those are the balls that I like to throw a lot, versatile, where I know I can change either hand positions or move on the lane, and I know they're gonna make the same shape. It's the ones like this one's kind of seeming, I'm not really sure where it fits and what type of shape it's supposed to make for me. So I'm a little kind of fighting it and trying to make it shape a certain way. All right, let's try to do the same thing that I did with the Rubicon. Stand a little left, throw it more right into the dry a little earlier, and get it out of that oil that's down lane, and see if this ball shapes just as much as the Rubicon or less. And it's a little different. It's a little longer, a little straighter to the spot, and it comes off a little quicker than the Rubicon, where the Rubicon was earlier and more rounder. So it's just, but there is only a slight difference compared to what I'm bowling on today. But if I bowl on a pattern or not, I'll probably use that ball on the shorter patterns, more like 39 and less, where the Rubicon I can use it on basically 39 up through 46 feet when I bowl on the PBA 50 Tour. When it comes to house shots, I'm not sure if this one's gonna be really good for your house. Depends on your house, depends on the length of pattern that you use and kind of what shift you're bowling on, if it's a fresh house shot, or maybe like I bowl on my league is a second shift league. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use that ball in a second shift league, but I'm going to move more left and throw it more right and see if I can get that same shape as the last one. All right, now that I've calmed down and relaxed and stopped trying so hard, I'm making better shots. All right, so more left, throw more in the dry, but I'm going to throw in the dry a little earlier to get it the shape right instead of, you know, down the lane. There we go. And exactly, see? Threw it more to the right earlier and the ball just didn't want to read down lane. So this is not a ball I'm going to go left to right with. This is a ball kind of like the Absolute and maybe like the DNA was, where I'm going to stay on basically to the right all the time. I'm going to play my angles a lot straighter and a lot shallower. And then when this ball gets too early, then I'm probably going to switch out of it and go to a different ball. I'm going to throw a couple more shots. I'm going to throw a lot straighter this time, more around second arrow rather than looping it. All right, now now that I scratched it with 1,000, the flares moved off my thumb. That's another thing I have trouble with. Some of these balls flare really close to my thumb, some don't, depending on how strong the core and cover combination is. But now we're going to throw a little straighter, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. There we go. Again, you can see it's on this house shot, this ball is very confused. I can't go left to right with it and to get the shape right compared to what I did with the Rubicon or the Phaze II. And if I go straighter, it's just a little too early and a little confused. So it's a ball I'm probably going to use more on patterns compared to bowling in the house shot. That is my ball review of the new Roto Grip Tour Dynam-X. And stay tuned for more ball reviews, guys. We have more balls coming out. We have Virtual Energy Blackout, the Eternity Pi. Thanks for watching. Peace out.